Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. The court case started the other day. I did a video about it. I didn't put it up because I just didn't want to get in trouble for it, because you can't talk about certain things on Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So I don't want to censor myself, but I just I couldn't be bothered. I'm just doing another video. But basically, I'm very much Camp Johnny. I've heard enough from the recordings of Amber Heard to know that, in my opinion, she's a mentally ill, abusive person. And, you know, we understand, intelligent people understand domestic violence happens on both sides. There are husbands who abuse their wives and wives that abuse their husbands. But that side doesn't really get looked at. And what we see from the evidence and things that's being shown and from Johnny's life is that Johnny was raised by an abusive mother, and he managed, like a lot of women, he went out and found an abusive partner who basically reinforced what he grew up believing about himself that he got from an abusive female parent and mother. And why we can accept a woman falling into that syndrome and ending up with the same type of person in their life that they grew up with, but we can't understand how that could happen to a man, is very sexist, very small-minded, very basic thinking. And I really believe he's the victim here. He's being abused by her, and she is working the system and working all the positive steps forward from Time's Up and what's the other one? Me Too. All those movements. I think she's really using all of that to, you know, try and get the most money out of him in the divorce. And I think, I think it's really obvious to see that's what it is. And if you look at the details, you see the damage that's been done to him versus the damage supposedly done to her, which has kind of been refuted by several witnesses now, including her makeup person, who obviously saw her with no makeup and a fresh, what is it called when you have no makeup on your face? A clean face or whatever. So yeah, I really doubt, and I'm glad to hear. One thing was that they didn't allow the verdict in the UK defamation case, because somehow they managed to think, because she promised to donate all her money to a charity, which she apparently didn't do, allegedly, supposedly, that she must be innocent and couldn't have been in this for money. So what she said must have been true, so therefore it wasn't defamation, which is just insane. I don't know how they got to that conclusion. But Johnny was the victim there. I really can't believe it didn't go in his favour. But they're not allowed to use that, which is good, because I think it's a travesty. So, and the other thing that was interesting was his neighbour and his mother have already testified, his sister have already testified about the mother and that abuse, and some other things like having to have a second hotel room for him to go to when Amber was being abusive so he could escape when they were travelling and stuff. And the neighbour saying that he, spoke to her and she had no marks on her face like she claimed at the time she was supposed to have been abused and all this sort of stuff. I believe them, in my opinion. She's an abuser. Johnny's fallen into the trap that a lot of people who've been abused in the past fall into, where they end up with someone who's just like the person that abused them when they were growing up. And we don't seem to accept that this can happen to a man, and that's just sexist and wrong and stupid, and we need to really look at domestic violence equally as both women and female, and not just looking at that dynamic of the husband being the abuser, because that's not always the case. It goes both ways, and we need to start accepting that and helping all the men who are being abused, because they are not getting any help, because they are ashamed. They are shamed by everyone, and it's wrong. Even if they're the minority, I don't care. They deserve just as much help and love and everything as the women who are abused get. And I'm sick of it. I've seen it happen in my own life, and I'm really sick of it. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the whole situation. Like I said, I believe Amber Heard is in the wrong, and I hope that, this all comes out in Johnny's favour and he gets his career back, because he lost the Pirates, he lost Fantastic Beasts, he's been dragged through the mud, and his career, he's never really going to recover, because society, just the way we look at men and women, people are always just going to assume he's the guilty party, and it's just going to stay with him forever unless we have a drastic change, which I don't see happening anytime soon, not in time to save his career. But I'm going to go. I'm going to stop talking about this. Thanks. Bye.